there are whole other worlds out there just waiting to be explored. Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show, and welcome back to yet another Top 10 Countdown. On this video, I will be counting down my top 10 favorite video game worlds. Now, what do I mean by a world exactly? Well, I'm not talking about an entire planet. I'm talking more about the setting and the atmosphere and the locations you visit and see and explore from video games. These are the top 10 video game worlds that you just don't want to leave, that you want to explore every corner, every inch of. There's so much to see in these worlds, there's even a lot to do. They're immersive, they're inviting, they're well detailed, and they're just beautiful to look at. These are my top 10 video game worlds. Number 10. Dunwall City, Dishonored. A little bit of fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of Victorian era culture, and finally, a lot of steampunk. And then you have Dunwall City from Dishonored. Dunwall City is a very dark and grim place, full of death and suffering. Yet at the same time, just across the city, there is elegance, there is beauty, there is prosperity. There is industry, oh my, is there a lot of industry. Dunwall City is quite an industrial location. The world of Dishonored just brings so many elements that we may have seen before, but brings them together in such a way that it makes Dishonored's world so intriguing and fascinating to look at. It's a marvel to the eye. And something that would usually be dark and very depressing is made pretty and appealing by Dishonored's art style, the way everything focuses on soft textures, soft colors, making everything look like a living water painting. Add in the unique art style of Dishonored with all those other things I mentioned, makes the world of Dishonored, Dunwall City, a place you won't soon forget. Number 9. Neo Paris, Remember Me. If you've ever been to Paris or have seen Paris, then you know Paris alone without the added sci-fi future elements is already a beautiful city. Then add the sci-fi future elements from Remember Me and you have a gorgeous, stunning new world. Neo Paris is an expertly well-crafted video game world, making use of actual French architecture, cyberpunk futuristic technology, heavy emphasis on the cyberpunk, and add in from a different kind of science fiction, lots of clean, slick, utopian-esque technology and design, and you have on your hands a jaw-dropping, gorgeous environment. I can't tell you how many times in Remember Me I just had to stop for a moment. I had to stop moving, or while I was moving, stop focusing on Nilin, and just look at the environment around me and look at the backgrounds. It's just so colorful, so full of detail and character. Remember Me is a very memorable game, which I guess is what of course they were going for with the title, and believe me, you will definitely remember Neo Paris. You will not be forgetting your visit there. Number 8. The World of Darksiders II. In Darksiders II, there is not just one location, there is not just one world. You travel to multiple, starting off in the Forge Lands, the lands of the creators, beings who helped build the universe. Then you travel to the land of the dead, which is of course home to ghosts, ghouls, zombies, skeletons. The name suggests what it implies, the land of the dead. After that, you visit an outpost in heaven and an outpost in hell. You get to see the varying contrast between heaven and hell. Hell, you even get to shortly, visit Earth in the post-apocalypse. That's 5, count 'em, 5 different, unique, varying worlds. All just full of color and creativity. The Forge Lands, the home of the creators, are old, ancient, beautiful, filled with towering and crumbling stone structures, and gorgeously pristine forests and valleys. The land of the dead being dark and dreary and depressing, with black desert sands covering most of the area. Endless, simply endless amounts of skeletal remains everywhere, and a heavy, heavy emphasis on Gothic design. The outpost of heaven, Lost Light, is pristine, elegant, radiant. You get a feeling of natural order. While on the other side of the spectrum, the outpost in hell is demonic, chaotic, full of spikes and fire. It oozes evil and dread. And post-apocalyptic Earth? Well, there's no other way to describe it besides post-apocalyptic Earth. Cities and streets wrecked and ruined. Endless amounts of abandoned cars. Signs of rubble and ruin, darkness and destruction. And all 5 of these locations are awesome! So much detail, so much creativity, so much character, and each one of these locations are just so darn colorful! That is what I absolutely love about the art style and the world of Darksiders, specifically Darksiders II. Everything is just so darn colorful. The color leaps off the screen. The visuals look like paintings and comic books. Graphic visuals brought to life. From heaven to hell and everything in between. Darksiders 2 sure has some beautiful locales to visit. Number 7. The Planet of Pandora. Borderlands 1 and 2. Now for this number, in this case, it is an entire planet. The Planet of Pandora is just a world, a video game world, filled to the brim with character. It's full of character, color, and detail. The sights to see, the stories to be told, the habitats to visit. Pandora really seems, just the world itself seems like a character in itself. You visit the native lands of certain wildlife on Pandora. You raid the many bandit camps and military establishments. You see the disgusting, violent filth the bandits live in, next to the by-the-book, typical, almost robotic nature of the military establishments. And then you have the towns. Then you have the towns of the normal civilians of Pandora who are just trying to make it by and make a living for themselves. Scraping together what they can to make some sort of a existence. And this being Borderlands, everything about the world of Pandora has a dark sense of humor to it. Whether it be in the little details or in the design altogether, or just the name of the certain location you are visiting. Just overwhelming color and character and detail. Those 3 things are what set Pandora apart from other video game worlds, and it is a video game world worth visiting and exploring for those 3 things. I keep repeating myself over, but that is just the 3 major elements that make Pandora such a fascinating, beautiful video game world. Character, detail, and color. Number 6. Post-Apocalyptic Russia, Metro 2033, and Metro Last Light. If you've played the Metro games, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. The attention to detail, the attention on every single room, on every single corner, nook and cranny, every single building, vehicle, the gosh darn floor. The world of the Metro games is just jam-packed full of detail. You can't help, it's impossible not to be immersed when playing the Metro games. The world just seems so believable for a sci-fi post-apocalyptic world. Everything just seems so believable because of the detail of everything. Whether it be inside the cramped, claustrophobic, and dark tunnels of the actual Russian metros, or the gloomy, foreboding, outside world of the dead city of Russia. Or Moscow, I should say. If you've seen Moscow, if you've been to Moscow, or if you've seen pictures of it, well, you know what it looks like. But no one can properly imagine or comprehend what Moscow would look like when exposed to nuclear radiation and a post-apocalyptic nuclear war. But I'll be damned if the world of Metro doesn't make it seem real, doesn't make it seem believable and alive. The world of Metro just seems like such a living, breathing world for a game set in the post-apocalypse. From the mutant wildlife, to the survivors and scavengers and bandits of the Metro. From the marketplaces you visit, to the mutant nests and the abandoned, bombed-out buildings. The world of Metro is just an unforgettable, unbelievable world from video games that must be experienced. Number 5. The world of Deus Ex Human Revolution. We've all seen different versions of a sci-fi future, from movies and television and of course novels. Deus Ex Human Revolution brings those sci-fi future worlds to life. It takes real-world cultural elements and finds a way to bind them all together in this unique science fiction environment. There's a sense of fantasy, but yet realism at the same time. The architecture and the atmosphere, you would first think to yourself, nah, that wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be like this in the future. But if you really think about it, you see how Deus Ex Human Revolution may seem fantastical, may seem only like a sci-fi world that's out of our reach. There's a lot of stuff in it that's actually very believable and realistic. The mixing of different cultures, Asian, European, and American, all blended together to form this weird dystopia yet utopia feeling. There's a constant sense of prosperity, yet on the other hand depravity. Also of Deus Ex Human Revolution, there's the heavy emphasis on the color yellow. No matter where you are in the game, at all times, there will always be this yellow coloring, this yellow hue, this yellow glow. The color yellow is always present, and for some reason, I can't tell you why, that makes Deus Ex feel and look special. It makes it feel and look special, because I've never seen another game do something like that. Just Deus Ex Human Revolution and its world, from Detroit to Hangshay to Montreal. There's just so much unique, beautiful looking science fiction technology and culture. Just really great world building when it comes to this game. Really great world building. You want to explore every inch, go to every corner, see all that you can see, and boy, it is a beautiful sight to behold. Number 4. The world of Enslaved Odyssey to the West. The post-apocalypse has never looked so absolutely beautiful. The vegetation, the broken down architecture, the broken down machines, the age, the detail of it all. Enslaved's world is just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at. The color, the detail. The fact that Enslaved is able to make a world that should be bleak and dark and hopeless. It's hundreds, if not thousands of years after the near extinction of humanity due to bloodthirsty killing machines. And yet it all looks so beautiful. The way that plants and greenery have just spread all over. In the ruins of New York City. The familiar yet unique and creative, scrappingly put together nature of Tripp's home village. Then we have the strange, almost alien world-like beauty of this wasteland-like dump that's like a giant mech and mechanical graveyard. Yet there's a unique beauty in all this scrap metal and in the unique kind of almost structures that they form. The world of Enslaved is just a marvel to look at. You can't keep your eyes off it. For something that should be sad and depressing, the world of Enslaved makes the post-apocalyptic setting seem like paradise. Number 3. The world of Thetis, from Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, I've actually stated this a couple times before, but I'll just reiterate here. Oh my god. The environments in Dragon Age Inquisition are jaw-droppingly beautiful. The lighting, the detail, and the color. Oh my god. There's just so much color. Combine that with the detail. Combine that with the creativity and originality of the developers, BioWare. and give them a graphics engine as powerful as the Frostbite free engine, and you have the perfect mix of a beautiful fantasy world. Everything about the multiple different landscapes that you travel in Dragon Age Inquisition feel grand and epic in scale. When you enter different cities and villages and castles, you see the unique culture in every single one of them. You truly see the difference and the variation between the cultures of Thedas, whether it be from the villages and castles of Ferelden to the cities and palaces of Orlais. Then you have the wild, untamed lands, the wilderness of Ferelden, the forests, the valleys, the deserts, the icelands, and mountains. They're just such awe-inspiring views to behold. Dragon Age Inquisition is already a grand and epic game, and the world, the setting, the atmosphere helps build upon that. Dragon Age is an epic, dark fantasy game, and it has an epic, dark fantasy setting and world, but at the same time, through all that darkness, through the death and suffering of the many peoples of Ferelden, the lands continue to thrive and remain beautiful. And not just that, we get a taste, an actual look into the darker, more vile side of Thedas. We get to travel into other worlds, namely the Fade, the place where dreams are made and where demons thrive. And the Fade is such a twisted, imposing, dark place. It truly does feel like something out of a dream, or more likely a nightmare. And just the overall graphical fidelity of this world. Textures, lighting, geometry, all perfect, all spectacular. When you play Dragon Age Inquisition, amongst the story and the characters, and the many combat scenarios, one other thing that will stay with you after you finish playing in your memory is the beautiful, simply beautiful world of Dragon Age Inquisition. Number 2. Skyrim. I don't even need to say more. I really don't. Most people in the world have either played Skyrim or seen Skyrim. Which, in that case, you already know that Skyrim is freaking amazing. The world of Skyrim, the world of the Elder Scrolls, is astounding, awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping. Not enough positive words can be said about it. It has all the staples of a masterfully created video game world that's incredibly immersive. It's impossible not to be immersed in this world. The setting, the atmosphere, the culture, the character, the color, the geometry, the architecture. It's all masterfully done. It's all beautiful to look at. When you play Skyrim, the world, what the world does to you, it's so magnificent, so well crafted. You want to explore everything. You have to explore everything, because there's always could be something that you missed. A house you didn't think to go inside in one of the many strongholds and cities of Skyrim. Oh yes, the strongholds in cities brimming with culture. Each one of the different cities feels and looks and just even sounds different and unique from one another. Now, back to what I was saying about exploring. You will want to look through every house, search through every cave, climb every mountain, travel through every forest. You will want to see and do everything you can in Skyrim, because there is just an almost infinite, okay, not infinite, it seems almost infinite, amount of things to see and do. It is so hard not to be immersed when playing Skyrim and exploring Skyrim. The world is just so immersive. It demands to be explored. And just night and day in Skyrim, the different times, from when the sun is up to when the moon is up, the world even looks completely different from night to day. It takes on a whole new feel. What more do I have to say? It's Skyrim. It's bloody Skyrim. You already know that the world of Skyrim is masterfully crafted, beautiful to look at, and begging to be explored. Woo! Now, before I get to my number 1 video game world, here is a quick recap of the last 9 amazing worlds created by video games. And the #1 video game world is the Wastelands of Washington, D.C. from Fallout Free. Need I say more? Need I say more? If you have played Fallout Free, then you understand completely what I am talking about. I've been mentioning quite a few things throughout the course of this top 10 countdown. Culture, character, detail, geometry, creativity, atmosphere, setting, immersion, exploration. Fallout Free has all of these, and Fallout Free handles them each perfectly. The Wastelands of Washington, D.C. are at the same time deadly, threatening, intimidating, but at the same time beautiful, engrossing, and just downright creative. Creativity leaks and exudes from this game, from the world of Fallout Free, from the many ruins, to the scrappily, hastily put together settlements, to the gory, bloody, and disturbing bandit and mutant encampments, to just the wide open terrain. And just like Skyrim, the world of Fallout Free, the Wastelands of Washington, D.C. are just begging to be explored. You have to explore every inch, nook, cranny, corner, because there could have been a unique character that you missed and didn't get to talk to, a fascinating new locale or building filled with a unique story of its own to tell. But around every corner there is danger, mutants that want to kill you and eat you, bandits that want to kill you and take your stuff, malfunctioning robots that shoot everything on sight, dangerous mutated irradiated wildlife. The world of Fallout Free is so deadly and dark and dangerous and foreboding, but still you want to press on. You want to see all you can see. You want to survive. You want to make it through this world. You want to make something of yourself. You want to get to know the wastelands and call them home. You want to master and tame these wild, untamable, dangerous lands. Where so many people have died in these apocalyptic wastelands, you want to be the one that survives, the one that makes it. You want to see all the beauty and all the horrors that the wasteland has to offer. You want to see the glimpses of what civilization used to be before the nuclear bombs hit. You want to see the unique science fiction technology that's been integrated into this old 30s, 40s world. The 1930s and 40s integrated with a hint of science fiction and dystopia, culture and setting. The Wastelands of Washington, D.C., the world of Fallout Free, is impossible not to be immersed in. It's impossible not to feel like a part of this world. It's impossible not to want to explore everything there is to explore. And that is why the Wastelands of Washington, D.C., the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout Free, is my #1 world created from video games.